Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to the Elite Dangerous 2.1 beta server. And this is Pimp My Ride Anaconda edition. Yes, it was very popular, my last video of pimping out the Vulture. And some of you actually asked to have an Anaconda pimped out. So that's what I'm going to go and try doing. Although, perhaps not, at least initially, in the way that you expected. First of all, we do not have any weapons on this Anaconda. Why? Because this is my exploration build. So as you can see, with a 3A power plant, 5D thrusters, the best frameshift drive, 5D life support, a 5A power distributor, 8D sensors, and the standard fuel tank. Yeah. This is my fully exploration fitted ship. Now, why am I doing this? It's because I really want to go and see what the jump range is going to be on this ship. Because as you can see at the moment, well, the maximum jump range, my standard jump range, is 36.62 light years. Currently, it's only 29.05 because I am loaded up with an absolute metric ass ton of fish, as you can see. So my jump range is a little lower, but I want to go and see roughly how much we could go and increase the jump range on this ship. So let's go back, let's go into the engineer's workshop, and we're going to go into the frameshift drive. So let's scroll down to the one we want. It's the same one we went for last time, which was increasing the FSD range. Now, as you can see, this will optimize the mass of the ship from anything from 20 to 25%. It will increase the mass of the frameshift drive, reduce its integrity, and increase its power draw. So that's not going to be amazing, but we are an exploration ship, so it shouldn't be as important, really. We just want to get that really awesome jump range. As you can see, I've got a total of 156 attempts at this so far. So let's go and see what we can go and do, because we really want to go and just get this to an absolute max end if we possibly can. So I'll see you after all the roulettes have begun and been finished. You know what? This was actually my first attempt. And we've gotten pretty much maxed out anyway. It says we've got plus 25%. So let's go over and have a look. Currently, my jump range, where is it? Here we go, is 29.09 light years. So let's go and see what happens when we go and apply this.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
Yes, we need to go and fix that. So we went from 29.09 light years to 35.45 light years, and that's still with all the fish on board. So let's actually go and quit out of here. We'll go into the commodities market, and we'll go and sell back all the fish to go and see what that's going to leave me with. I mean, functions. Holy crud. I have a 44.4 light year jump range. That is insane. Now, it does say in brackets 46.21, but that is the absolute optimal maximum jump range you can get out of it when you're lower on fuel. So when you've got just enough fuel to get to where you're going and to be able to fuel back on the other side. So that's the last jump you're ever going to make in the ship. If you can't refuel at the end of it, you are screwed. Pretty much is what that is. So that's when you've got the absolute optimal weight. But we can go and increase that even further. What we need to do is go into the core internals, go down to the power distributor. Here we go, and install a 1D power distributor. Now, we're not going to be able to boost, but that's not what we're going for at the moment. And then we'll go back, we'll go into the optional internals, and we'll pretty much just sell everything. And after doing all of that, that has upped our jump range to 47.65 light years. Now, this is not the max that you can get this to. As you can see, we did not actually hit the top of the slider. From what I've calculated, the maximum that I can potentially reach with selling pretty much anything with mass in my ship is around about 49.65 light years, if I remember correctly. It's around about there, but that's only if you hit the absolute top end, well, basically of the engineer's roulette. So yeah, you can get an absolutely insane level of jump range, and bearing in mind, looking back at this one, if we go and combine this with an FSD injection, let's say the premium one, which I obviously do not have all the material for, that would be doubling the jump range. So that's going to be 93.3 light year jump range. So that's insane. That's almost 100 light years of jump range. That is insane. But one of the downsides to doing this is it does increase our the capacity. So let's go and have a look. So yeah, we go and use 7% of the power now, rather than what I think it was like about 5% or something, maybe. I don't really know. Maybe 6%, but we've gone up in power. But it doesn't really matter because we can finagle a few more bits around the ship. But this video isn't really about just how good this could be as an exploration ship. What I'm going to go and do is I am going to go and re-outfit this Anaconda for combat. I'm going to go and see how insane that can be. Okay, so we are now fully outfitted for combat. Let's go and have a look at the core internals. We've pretty much got maxed out everything. We've still got the same Class 6A frameshift drive that I modified earlier, with basically just under a 25% increase to jump range. We've still got a Class 5 life support, because I don't usually put that up. I might end up doing in the end, but we'll see how it goes. We've got the best power distributor, same D sensors, but the main issue here is we have an 8A power plant with a massive whopping output of 36 megawatts. So let's go to the optional internals. I've already got prismatic shields on here, so I've basically pushed this ship to the limits pretty much, but it's still very, very efficient and very runnable. I've got 2 shield cell banks, only one of them is used at any one time, so it's never going to fill up the prismatic shield generator, but don't really care. We've got some cargo racks for buying some fish and just going through all of the modification processes we need to go through, because we have a lot. I've left a lot of internals empty because I'm just not bothering to go through armor and so on, because I'm leaving this optional for whatever the hell you want to do. I'm just dealing with the basics. So yeah, we're also going to go for the weapons. So the hard points, we've got a... Where are we? Here we go. A huge multi-cannon, and in front of that we have a... or even behind that potentially, a large multi-cannon. We have 2 large gimbaled pulse lasers. We've also got basically 2 medium turreted pulse lasers and 2 small turreted pulse lasers. The main reason I've gone for pulse lasers is because I want to keep the load on the capacitor to a minimum, because I don't like modifying the capacitor all that much for anything other than potentially racing ships, because there's too much negatives in the other 2 sides of the capacitor, so I'm really not that much of a fan of it. So yeah, we've got all this. We've got 2 multi-cannons and the rest of them are pulse lasers, so I'm really curious to see what we can go and do. But anyway, let's go and have a look at what we've got in the, where is it, utility mounts. Got a kill warrant scanner, which you'll notice has a brand new model, pretty much. We've got 2 heatsink launcher, a heatsink launcher, 2 chaff launchers, and the rest are shield boosters, which again have a brand new model. I actually do really like these ones. It makes it look like it is actually part of a shield boosting system, or a shield system, so it does look awesome. It did bug me a little bit when the old one did used to just look like closed up heatsink launchers. That bugged me a little bit, but oh well. I'm really liking the way these new ones look. And we've got 4 of those. They're all A rated as well. So we've got an absolutely great amount of shielding on this. We have a prismatic shield, top of the line, with 4 A-rated shield boosters. So that's awesome. Now, what we're going to go and do is we're going to go and have a look into the workshop itself. And the first thing I'm going to go and do is up the power plant. Because upping everything else is going to take more power, and we're already stretched thin as it is. And thinking about that, I need to go and buy some more fish, don't I? So we have 160 attempts to get things right. So, like I said, we're going to go for the power plant first, and we're going to go for the overcharged power plant. Now, this is going to reduce our integrity and reduce our heat efficiency. So that's not going to be great, but it is going to up our power capacity by anything up to 23%. And for this power plant, that is going to be huge. Because let's think, what have we got currently? Does it tell us here? I don't think it does. But if I remember rightly, we've got 36 megawatts of output. So let's go and see how this ends up going. So let's preview the cost and, well, preview the output and see how well this goes. Come on, you want to go really high up there. 17%, that's not quite good enough. I'm going to try a few more times and I'll come back to you when I finish the rest of these things. And there we go. We seem to have got an absolute amazing increase there of 31%. Holy crud. I think that's actually larger than what we should have been able to get. But we did get an increase in power capacity here. So that is insane. Our integrity didn't go down too much, but our heat efficiency went down quite substantially. So that's not going to be great, but let's go and apply that.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
And let's go back, actually, and let's go and check how much power that has given us now. Holy crud, that's given us over 10 megawatts more power. That's insane. 46.96 megawatts. Holy crap on a stick. Ooh, okay, so let's go back here. That's given us a lot more wiggle room to go through. We've already got the best, a decent increase to our frame shift drive, so I'm not worrying about that. Power distributors, I'm not really a fan of changing these. We could go for these things, but it's reducing the recharge rate on them, but it is increasing all the capacity. So, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Wait a sec. There we go. There's the better one. 25% plus potentially, and 25% minus on those ones potentially. So, I'm not sure if the offsetting the recharge to the capacity is that great, but we've got shielded distributors, and we've got the individual ones where we can focus on the specific section. Now, like I said, I don't like the idea of doing things rather than potentially focusing on engine focus, like this one. So engine capacity and engine recharge rate go up whilst everything else goes down. I think this is going to be amazing for racing ships, but everything else I'm not the biggest fan of, but that's just personal preference, so I'm going to leave that be. Armour, I am going to go and do that one as well, because we have only got lightweight alloys, but I'm planning to use this mainly as a shield tank, so that's great. What I'm going to go do is go all the way to heavy duty armour here. Now, apparently this does not affect the mass at all. It doesn't affect the hull reinforcement at all, it just gives us more resistance to kinetic, thermal and explosives. So yeah, sure, why not? Let's go and give it a go. So let's go and generate. I'm not too fussed about these specific ones. So yeah, that's actually quite a good one, although I do suspect that we may end up losing some things. No, we don't. We pretty much got almost perfect. Now, having that go up to 1 would have been nice, but I don't really know what that would have done, really. So let's just apply that one for the sake of it. It's not adding any more mass. I'm fine with that. Engines, let's go and modify those. And I'm still not quite sure what the difference between the dirty and the... Well, I know what the main difference is, but I don't see what the advantage is of the dirty over the clean drive tuning. I mean, we get an optimal multiplier of up to 25, but we're gaining thermal load, power draw, potentially gaining integrity, although that's extremely not very likely, but we're also losing optimal mass. So what does this mean? Does this mean we're going to be faster but less maneuverable? I'm not sure. I mean, what's the difference between the optimal multiplier up here between here? Ah, right, okay. Right, I get it. So we get more optimal multiplier with the dirty and less with the clean. we also get reduced thermal load and so on. So, yeah, I suspect the dirty means that we're going to get faster, but it's going to cause us more problems with heat management and so on. Okay, right. So I'm going to stick with the clean drive anyway, because it's going to give us a bit more maneuverability. It's going to reduce our thermal load, which is going to be great because our new power plant basically has increased our thermal load. So yeah, let's give this a go. Yeah, we'll generate. You know what? I'm quite happy with this already. So integrity's going up. Oh, and that's even outside of that. I do like it when this happens. Optimal mass. Holy crud, that goes up as well. This should... yep. Hello. Yes. Hell yes. Okay, so we've already modified the power plant. And we need to go for the lasers and the multi-cannons. But first, I'm going to go for the shield generators because there's less of these to do. So what I am going to go do with the shield generator is I am just going to go for the reinforced shields. So just get the most bang for my buck, so to speak. So I'm getting all the resistances, I'm getting the optimal strength up. Basically, I'm losing regenerate and broken regenerate, but I don't mind. So let's go and see how well this goes. Now, apparently, I can just click and it'll tell me everything that's already happened. Nope, not happy with that at all. So let's try again. Didn't actually realise that you could do this. Just click and it'll eventually just run through to the next one. So you don't have to sit here watching all the sliders. That one's actually, I'm kind of quite happy with that one. The broken regenerate's actually increased. So, by about 1%, but yeah, sure, I'll go for that one. We've got shield boosters. So we've got 4 of these. I'll go for one of them to begin with. We could go for heavy duty shield boosters. Oh, holy crud. That can increase the shield boost from 119% to 239%. That's insane. Okay, yes, it's increasing the mass, but I don't care. Let's give this one a go. Now, bearing in mind, we've got 4 of these to go, so I'm not going to be doing all of them. And I'm kind of happy with that one already. Let's see how the how the secondary effects affect this. Okay, our power draw's gone down as well. Ooh, that's nice. Thermal resistance has gone up as well. So yeah, sure, I'll go for that one. It's just too bad that you can't roll on more than one at a time. It would be nice if you could do that. We've got the shield cell banks as well. I'll just do the first one to begin with. We've got the rapid charge shield cell banks, and it's the reducing the spin-up time. Now, I wasn't sure what this was last time, but the spin-up time is the time between pressing the button for the shield cell bank and it actually kicking in and charging your shields. So let's go and preview that one. So yeah, that sucks. So let's try that again. And this is what gets me. It can be just so horrendously bad. And why should it be this? Okay, it puts up more shield reinforcement by 10% and the spin-up time is reduced by 25%. Oh, okay. Maybe a bit more. 17%. Yeah, sure. I'll keep that one. Why not? And that's all of those ones. So let's go and have a look at some of the weapons. Now, thankfully, we've only got 2 multi-cannons, so this is not going to be as much of a pain in the butt to deal with. But what I want to go and do is I want to go and overcharge the 2... My idea is to overcharge the 2 multi-cannons. Or maybe, actually no, I am actually going to go and put in the high capacity magazine. Just because I really like this. So let's go and do this. This is for the huge one, I believe. Yes. So let's review the cost, review it and see how it affects. Come on! No, okay. It's not too bad, but it is a bit of a pain in the butt. Now let's see what we get over here. Power draws down, so that's nice. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Distributor draws down. Now, I really wish that... I don't mind this happening here, but I really wish they wouldn't have the bit around the outside, because it literally looks like an actual roulette wheel. It looks literally like gambling. I do not like this at all. You know, I'm not going to try for that. I'm going to try again, but I'll see you guys in a bit when I get what I want. Well, this isn't too bad, and it's got the incendiary rounds that I really wanted. So, you know what, I think I'll settle for this one. So let's go for that one. And then we'll go back to the multi-cannons, and I'm going to try and get this one fitted out the same way with the high capacity magazine and the incendiary rounds. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Here we go. We've got the second one, the large multi-cannon with the incendiary rounds as well. But we've also got significantly higher on both the ammo clip size and the ammo maximum. Which is kind of good because the huge multi-cannon actually runs out of ammo slower than the large multi-cannon. So this is kind of going to balance out quite nicely. So that's both of those set up, and let's go and have a look at some of the pulse lasers. Now this is going to be fun, trying to get all these roughly the same. But what I'm thinking of doing is potentially going for efficient weapons. It's going to reduce the thermal load, it's potentially going to reduce the damage per second. The rate of fire is going to go down, but the damage is most likely going to go up. Power draw is going to go down, and distributor draw is going to go down. Now, that's going to be good because then we're going to be able to fire these weapons almost constantly. Yep, that's the one we want. We could theoretically go for overcharged weapons or everything else, but I do think this one's going to be better considering that how many weapons we have, and I really want to make the most out of the distributor. This is also going to be reducing the thermal load, so that's going to be helping because we've overcharged our reactor. So I do think this is going to be the best possible thing to do. Your mileage may vary, but this is what I like to do. So let's go and preview the outcome and see how well this goes. And let's just click here, see what we get. Phasing sequence. Burst fire designed to defeat shielding. A small amount of damage is able to bleed through shields and attack the target's hull directly. I think this might be a nice one to have. I'm going to try again though, just see if I can find anything else. You know, I'm kind of happy to go with this one because the damage per second's even gone up on this one, so I'm not complaining in the slightest. The damage has gone up immensely, so I think I am actually going to go for this one. And now what I need to go and do is try and match up the rest of the lasers to this. So I will see you in a bit, guys. Right, so after a good long while, this took me roughly 20 minutes of just spamming everything to try and get everything roughly the way I wanted it. And you can see that I have gone down to about 70 tons out of my maximum 160. So it took a lot of attempts to get this the way I wanted it. And this is just not going to be practical trying to do this for larger ships when it goes live. And you literally have to go and find the materials for everything. It's going to be a lot less useful for modding out larger ships extensively. Smaller ships, yeah, not so much of a problem, but larger ships, that's going to be an absolute pain in the jacksy. But let's go and have a look here. In the utility mounts, we have heatsink launchers and so on, but you can see that we've boosted up all of the shield boosters. So they are a lot more insane. As you can see, we've got shield boost of so much more percent. 56.9%, 67, 65, 63. Yeah, that's a lot more shield power. I've modified both the shield cell banks. I've modified pretty much everything we can in there, but the main pièce de résistance is the hard points. We have 2 incendiary round multi-cannons, and we have all the rest of these lasers as... what are they again? Let's have a look at modifications. They are all phasing sequence, so they're going to basically go through the shields and hit the hull underneath. And having this with 6 pulse lasers, this is insane. I could theoretically swap all these out for beam lasers if I wanted. Especially since if we go back, where are we? Here we go. Let's have a look over. You can see that I'm only at 80% power usage. Now, I'm not going to bother doing that because it would take way too much time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go launch out and go and have a look and see how well this thing does in a little spot of combat. Alright, well, we've managed to find our first target here, and we're actually being scanned by serious security, so I'm kind of hopeful that he doesn't decide to start attacking us. Yeah, he's not bothering. So, let's go and see how well the new weapons actually go and hold up. Ooh, just look at that. We're already taking his hull down. Just look at that, we've only taken 2% off his hull. So let's throw out some chaff to throw off his aim. Ooh, only 4% off his hull. Actually, we've got heat rounds as well, or incendiary rounds. So, ooh, oh, look, just look at how fast that thing's going down. Now, I'm going to keep the... There we go. So he should be going off very soon. Oh, just look at all that damage. And that's... I'm firing off all the weapons, and that's barely affecting our weapon distributor. So that is insane. And there he goes. Wow, that was insane. Now, we've got a Python over here who is kind of already under attack. Well, let's go and take him out anyway. So let's start off with the multi-cannon fire. I'm not even going to bother looking for firing on his power plants because he's just melting. Because I can just fire all weapons as much as I want and not have to worry about my capacitor. So that's insane. That's the reason I decided to go for...
Target destroyed.
Let's go and see. Serious security, are you wanted? I want to see how well this goes against a smaller ship. Be wanted, please. Yes, you are. So, come on. Let's go and start firing everything at him, even the multi-cannons.
Target shields offline. Under attack.
You know what? I'm really not worried about not being able to see you. I'll just make sure that you are underneath my ship, and my turreted weapons will still fire at you. But this ship definitely seems a lot more maneuverable. Well, let's go and put that to the test, shall we? Put all power back into engines. Because we're going at a boost of over 300 meters per second, so that is amazing. Overall that, our shields barely went down half a ring. And right now, let's just go and see how well we can go and weave in between these asteroids. I mean, just look at the maneuverability of this thing now. I can thread this thing between asteroids like nobody's business right now. This is just insane. And I see an eagle. I see an eagle. This is not going to be fair. Please be wanted.
Scan detected.
Yes, you are. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm just going to go for multi-cannons. So with incendiary rounds, let's go and see how well this goes.
Under attack. Target shields offline. Flight assist.
Oh my god, this thing just turns so well. Oh, where's the eagle gone? Oh, hello, asteroid. Don't care.
Destroyed.
Oh my god, this thing is just such a joy to fly right now. I can't wait to see how the Corvette handles. But just look at how we can just throw this thing around insanely maneuverably. Little bit of flight assist off.
Flight assist on.
Quick change of direction. This is insane. So, what do I think of the Anaconda once it has been extensively modified at the engineers? This thing is insanely good. I mean, the maneuverability puts the Corvette to shame after this thing's been modified. I can only wait to see how the Corvette fares. But, I mean, with pulse lasers that are set to efficient, our distributor hardly ever goes down. We can fire everything fully and not worry about anything. It's insane. And I'm only at 80% power. I could quite happily set everything on this to beams, and we still wouldn't have very few ill effects. But after all that, I really could not be bothered to go back and re-roll everything for beams. I may end up going to do something like that on the Corvette though, so watch this space. But what did you think of this little demonstration of the Anaconda's insane might when it comes to the potential it has when an engineer gets their loving hands on it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, as always, and as always I will do my level best to get back to as many of you as possible. But anyway, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video and found it enlightening. If so, please do hit those like and subscribe buttons, because you guys have no idea how much that helps my channel out. But anyway, as always guys, I've been Commander Chaos Wolf, you guys have been epic, I will see you soon, and until then Commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.